Have you ever wanted to make some furniture or highly detailed blocks? Well, now this is a possibility. Hello everyone, my name is JohnArmy and welcome to a mod showcase. This time it's Chisels and Bits. If you don't know about this mod, it lets you build very detailed builds with a bunch of bits and, well, chisels. So how you can do that I will explain in a little bit, but before that, the mod is cosmetic, which means I'm reviewing it in the bedroom, so let's get in there and start with the review. The mod is currently for version 1.10.2 and it is made by Algorithm X2, who is the creator of some other mods such as Plate Energistics 1 and 2. So before we start, let me show you a bit of a preview. So you can see here a table made out of spruce bark and planks, and a dish made out of some marble and light blue wool. You can also see here we've got this highly detailed prismarine and stone from Chisel, and these which look more science fiction like, which I like a lot, made with end stone and a purple slime from Tinker's Construct. So you can see here all the things I have made. They look pretty cool in my opinion, and yeah, you can see a bunch of blocks are supported, but there are some exceptions, such as the furnace or some from mods, such as some from mechanism. You can see I cannot chisel this block, for example the teleporter, and you can see here something like the lava wood. I can chisel it into something like this and it looks amazing. It looks mind-boggling. We can also have a couch if we want to, some furniture, can make a throne, or even a modern day throne. I bet some of you are sitting on one currently. Anyways, so you can also make rocks if you want to. So yeah, let's get into the stuff. So first we've got the chisels. The difference between the chisels is that you won't be able to well, chisel as much as you will with the highest tier, so just the durability, that's the only difference, that's what I mean. So you'll see, to chisel you just need to press on anywhere on the block, which is the best part. You're not limited to some axes such as forge micro blocks, and you can see here I'll get bits if I start breaking. And just like that, this is how the mod works in its most simplest simple form. But yeah, you most likely want the diamond chisel, since that will last you the longest. And I'm warning you from now, when you start chiseling, you'll get into so many details you won't even realize 3 hours have passed. Anyways, so 2 tweaks that are pretty cool is that when you press shift, you can see the full block. So for stuff like the chisel blocks, it will be pretty useful since you won't get them mixed up, and you can see which block you exactly want to get if you're searching for it in creative with the creative tab. I will show that later on. So you see, the single bits isn't the only mode. We also have other modes which we can access in 2 ways. The first one is by sneaking and using the scroll wheel, and that will change the modes, but that is the more difficult way in doing it. The other one is by using the radio menu, which you can get from options controls. Scroll down to chisels and bits and find radio menu over here. Mine is on O, but the default is left menu. So when I press O, I open this menu and I have all these options over here. The first one and the default one you'll get is single bit, which I already showed you. Next is line. With the line you chisel in lines. Pretty self-explanatory. Then we've got the plane, and these also do work for the bits themselves. You can build with them like that. So the plane, you mine like this, and it's pretty effective. And also another feature we've got here is the undo and redo buttons, which are not on the sneaking menu, and that's why the radio is much better. Since if you have messed up, you can just press undo, you'll get all the stuff from the last turn you did, and the progress will be destroyed. But if you pressed undo too many times and you actually missed your part, you can put redo, and that will redo all the stuff you did with the undo. Anyways, and you can get to a max of redos and undos you do. Next we've got the connected plane, which will mine only a plane that has been connected. So that might sound a bit confusing, but for example here, now it works like a simple plane, but if I mine some bits over here and I want to make it deeper, I can use the connected plane and boom, it doesn't bother any of the others. And you saw there, I made a mistake, I made it a bit lower, and I can fix it with the undo. So yeah, this is how you can use the connected plane. The next setting, which you'll probably find yourself using the most, is the drone region, which is when you hold your button, you draw a region that you'll break or build if you are with the chisels, with the bits, excuse me. And yeah, it just lets you build with the bits faster or break with the chisel faster. Then we've got the 1/8 of grid snapped. So you see here, this is actually only 4 blocks, it's not an eighth, and that's because there are specific eighths of the block. So you see, if I put one more here, I can mine that too, and they're just specific eighths. Same is for the 1/4, the 1/2, and well, these are all 3. Then we've got some I would say presets for mining. This is the small cube, the medium cube, and the large cube, which you'll probably use the least since they don't have a lot of use, except if you're wanting to make something a bit more randomized, such as I use them over here to do this. You can see I used a bunch of medium, small and large. Then we've got these are all the modes. So the next part is the saw, which is inspired from microblocks, and in my opinion it actually brings back microblocks to 1.10.2, since it isn't on this version. So if I get a block, you'll see it works in the same way. I can make slabs in these 2 axes, and if I can of course cut them up into thinner parts and thinner until I get the thinnest part. So yeah, and you can see it does work like microblocks, since you just place them like this. It's a bit different since you cannot place the same part on the same block as easier, since it's conflicting with each other, and you know, yeah, that will destroy your bits, but you can just sneak and do such things. Anyways, the next thing we've got is the wooden wrench. With the wooden wrench, you can rotate your blocks, and you see here I turned upside down my brick. I can do the same with over here, and you should be alerted that textures might be different, so keep that in mind when you do this. Can you see here, you can really go crazy. Yeah. But that's pretty much it for the wooden wrench. It doesn't take any durability, and yeah, it just helps if you're are struggling to get a block to the right position. Then we've got the tape measure. With the tape measure you can see how much a place you want to place blocks or mine will be long, and you see this is 13 bits by 13 bits, and if I can do multiple measurements. By the way, you see this is 1 meter over 1 block and 2 bits, and when I sneak I delete all of them. So in my opinion I wouldn't really use it just for measuring, since I've got my measurements, but what I would really use it is probably for measuring out my world if I wanted to. For example, to make the honorable achievement, which is 1 kilometer, if I remember correctly. Anyways, next thing we've got is the chiseled bit bag, which is a pretty useful item that stacks a bunch of your bits. This is where you collect them and put them in, and if I drop some on the ground, you'll see that it actually doesn't drop it. Well, to be honest, I don't know what's happening currently, but yeah, if I get some that have dropped, yeah, it just reloaded. So if I get some that have dropped, it will just put them in the bit bag. And the maximum stack here is not 64, that would be dumb. It's 512, which I think was 1 block. So yeah, we also have the delete bag contents, which if you press it, it will delete all of the bags bits that are in. But you can hold an item to put a filter of which items only to delete, which I will show you in a little bit. Next we've got this, which is the chiseled fluid bit tank, a pretty long name, and with this you can put liquids in, and well, you can get liquid bits with this, which is pretty cool. You just need to click on it and you see I have only 1 stack. Wait, is this a glitch? No, it just puts them in the chiseled bit bag because I have one, and it works for most liquids. After all, it's the same with the blocks. It works for those that are supported, so of course the vanilla ones. And you see here, from 1 you get a bunch of stacks, which actually my mistake. 512 should be probably, if I'm counting them correctly, yeah, 1/8 of a block. So 512 by 8 would be a full block. Anyways, I've got lava, and with lava and other stuff that would make you burn or get some kind of effects, it gets interesting, since they won't actually burn you or something, or give you the effects. It has the properties of water, and for that it can actually make you climb. And this is pretty weird, especially with the lava, since you expect to burn, but you see these blue particles. It's a bit weird, but maybe this will get tweaked, maybe not. I don't know algorithms plans. He might just leave it like this. Anyways, you see, if I have Tinker's Construct, I can make milk liquid, and so on with some other mods. Now I can do others from Tinker's Construct, from other mods that are supported. I don't need to repeat myself. But something like Mechanism's Brine, that cannot be turned into bits. So if you want to find a way which bits are in, you just you can go into creative, go into the chisels and bits slot, and you can search for something. If you find it, it means that you can chisel it. But if you don't, such as Brian, it means that you can't. And so I can find something like slime, and if I press shift, you see this is pretty difficult to see what the block is. So Like this, I can see much clearly. And you see magma slime block, congealed green slime block, just a slime block, liquid blue slime, etc. You just find your stuff. You can type anti-blocks, you'll find them if you have chisel, and yeah, that's how you can search them. And also, we've got this thing, which is the Chisels and Bits clipboard. What this is the latest bits that you have broken will be in here, so if you break them on accident, such as, let's break this part of the throne. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Well, what am I going to do? Well, you go into your clipboard, get it back, and rotate it into the right position. This is when we use the wooden wrench, and you will get it back eventually. But yeah, you get my point. Yeah, I won't be messing with this anymore. So yeah, this is how you can do this. So we actually missed some parts here in the chest. These are the positive chisel design and the negative chisel design. There is also a mirror chisel design, which I actually don't get, since you need to combine it with a positive/negative design to transfer it to something, but it just works like if you placed it with a positive chisel design or a negative chisel design. And if you want to craft them back, you can just put them in your crafting grid. So what is the difference between these? Well, let me show you with the same block. So the positive chisel design will make you replace a block with the stuff, and that will be only if you do have the bits for it. So currently I don't, so I'll turn into creative to show you, and boom, this is how you can do this. So you replace the blocks, and you get the block that you made, that you got the positive pattern from, and then you can just put it in a crafting grid and it's clean again, and you can do another pattern. And the negative just gets the chiseled part, so it just transfers the design. So if I put it on a dirt block, you can see that it's the same like this end stone design, but it's actually only from dirt. So you can see the difference. It's pretty easy to notice, and yeah, you get your bits back. And well, the last part is that if you go to your mod options or your config files, you can search for chisels and bits, and here you can find a bunch of stuff. What I recommend you doing is going to balance settings, and here where it says a percentage of block for max light level, put it to 0 and press apply globally if you're over here. What that will make is that for blocks such as glowstone, you need only 1 bit to make it light up. You see, I have hidden a bunch of these all around the place, and that's how I'm lighting up the showcase. And usually that wouldn't work since it's on something like 6.68. Yeah, some weird number. So I recommend you doing that just for your comfort. Now you don't need to do it, and there are a bunch more configs. You can change the bit stack size in the bitback if you think that it's not going to be enough. And yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff that you can tweak in the config. Anyways guys, that was it for this mod showcase. So thank you everyone so much for watching. The mod is down in the description if you want to download it. It's the first link. And if you enjoyed this video and it helped you, please hit that like button. And if you're new here and want to see more content from me, subscribe. And as always guys, I'll see you later. Bye bye.